Hi, my name is Brooke Bechtel, and this morning I have the delight of introducing a pretty special, or shall I say a most beloved VIP of the class of 26, and her name is Elizabeth Scott. The first time I met Elizabeth was the summer before freshman year, and it was one of our first ever soccer practices at SMS, on the old field, of course, with Coach Patrick as well. I didn't think much of her at first, but what I gathered was that she was a sweet, quiet kid who was coming to SMS for the first time, just like me. So throughout the course of the summer and freshman year as well, I came to find that she was the most welcoming and comforting person that I had ever met. And that means a lot coming from me because, as some of you may know, I can be pretty apathetic sometimes. From her tough work on the soccer field to her energy as a rowdy bird and her dedication to Wilson Society, Elizabeth is an outstanding, strong role model, as she is gifted both academically and physically. I've really enjoyed having her as a friend these past few years, and I cannot wait for the many more conversations and warm hugs with her in the halls. P.S. Mr. and Mrs. Scott, you've done a beautiful job raising her, and so finally, I give you Elizabeth Lee Scott.
In the beginning, I wanted nothing more than to be a counselor in training at my summer camp. In order to be a counselor in training, I had to complete a week-long backpacking expedition. I don't like hiking, I don't like snakes, and I don't like not having access to a technologically advanced underground sewage system. But I went. I was uncomfortable. Beginning my journey, I knew what was coming. I wouldn't wash my face for a week, and I had to wear the same pair of socks multiple days in a row. What I didn't know was that when I made ramen that night, I would drink all the questionably seasoned water left in my bowl, and then later pick up a spider and throw it out of my sleeping bag. I was way out of my depth, and God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. I was weak. My body had been pushed to the limit, and I was getting sick. I was no help putting up tarps, finding water, cooking food, or doing anything else. I wasn't pulling my weight, and yet I was miraculously cared for by those who were, doing all that they needed to do, and my work too. When I was not strong, others were, and God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. I found unity. I had never been so physically exhausted, hiking uphill with an unhelpful amount of dead weight on my back for what felt like many hours, but was definitely less than one. Although our group was together, it was the most isolated I had felt all week. I worked so hard to ensure I didn't appear to be struggling, and finally, someone much braver than I asked for a break. While we stood there catching our breath, one of our guides had a simple idea. When you're struggling, she proposed, say Marco. And anyone else also having a hard time, reply with Polo. A few more seconds of hiking up, and some angel called out Marco, which was met with an enthusiastic and slightly desperate chorus of Polo from the rest of us. This continued throughout the trip, and upon reflection, I realized the genius of our little game. I was suffering, but knowing that everyone else was suffering with me made it more bearable, and God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the third day. I was small. We scaled the side of a mountain, something I was finally excited about. Reaching the top of the climb, I inched up the slanted slab to sit and admire the view, and was swallowed by the beauty of the rolling mountains and struck by how incredibly minuscule I was. Surrounded by greatness, I forgot the constant clutter of trivial things that typically occupy my thoughts. For a moment, I enjoyed the rare occurrence of a clear mind, a brief glimmer of seeing what is actually important and freedom from everything that is not. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. I kept going. We hung bear bags full of our food, and I have no idea how many times we threw that rope-bound rock up at that tree limb with blind optimism, but we kept at it with no reasonable strategy or athletic ability until we got lucky. Despite the fact that it was raining and how ready we were to get back to the campsite, we had to stay and hang the bags because it had to get done. Because I had no other choice, when I wanted to check out, I was constantly forced to try. And God saw that it was good. and there was evening and there was morning the 5th day. I was unprotected. On the trail, I dove into conversation with my friends over normally untouchable topics. We covered faith and family and demons that they and I were fighting. This would ordinarily be my greatest fear and an immediate alarm to stay as emotionally distant as possible. But in these moments, everyone was too exhausted to be anything other than completely themselves. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the 6th day. On the 7th day, I rested. We made our exodus from the woods, laid our packs down, hopped in a van, returned to camp. For me, my 6 days in the woods were a genesis, the birth of a new thing, a new creation. And God sees that this is good. Thank you.